What's up, everybody? It's Dingers time. Dingers with the boys coming at you. Yeah. Boys with a Z. We have just over our 1 year anniversary. Thank you again for everybody that's been listening. It's been so much fun. But this week, college football, man, it's coming to the end.
It's coming to the wire.
Coming to like the college football playoffs. Those rankings have started coming out. I think this will be the third week now. This Tuesday. We're doing this on Sunday night, right after the Broncos game. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but there's some crazy stuff that can happen, man.
There is.
Like, let's talk just to CU first, man. Yeah. At the beginning of the season, I didn't think we were going to be as bad as everybody was saying and stuff.
I agree.
But did you think we had a chance to make the college football playoffs?
Not really. I do agree that I think we were going to be a lot better than what people were saying. I thought we would just get bowl eligible, and that was going to be our victory. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this just happened kind of thing. But now, it's not only that we're in our own destiny, or they control their own destiny of making it to the Big 12 championship. Yeah. Because the teams that we need to keep on losing, and then we keep on winning. So,
well, now we're tied for BYU for first right now because they lost the last night to Kansas. We play Kansas this week. You called it, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I think Kansas is going to beat BYU.
You've called that for a couple weeks. I think you've been saying that.
I just don't think BYU is all that good.
I agree.
I've watched a lot more college football this year than I have in any years past. Well, maybe you do because CU
exactly.
I
think it's funny because Notre Dame's my team.
Yeah.
However, CU's also my team.
Yeah.
If they're going, it's hard because if they're going against each other, I probably would go more Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But dude, it's so close. I don't want them to play against each other, to be honest with you. And I think having a football team, especially how close Boulder is to us, relevant, it just makes it so much more exciting.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because I have not watched every Notre Dame game this year.
Yeah.
And I've pretty much watched every CU game.
Same.
And I think, though, because, Megan also, she's not as much into Notre Dame. Well, and it's funny because she went to CSU, but we watched those CU games.
Yeah.
And the Prime effect, man, it's just so fun. Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, it's so much fun. And it also, CSU is good right now, too. They're undefeated right now in the Mountain West.
Yep.
And so they're tied with Boise State at the top of that. So if they're going, we'll talk about the playoffs here in a second, but there's technically a chance, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But is that the reason, do you think? Just because it's a team close to us?
I think it has a big reason. I've always said for years that I want to get more into college football, but because, I don't know, it's just something else to do on Saturday.
Do you know people from other teams, though, as much?
I know the big name people.
But you're still, it's pretty much, the games you're watching is pretty much like CU, or I know you've watched some Notre Dame ones with me. It's still those ones,
basically,
kind of thing. But then, you kind of know who's up there for the Heisman and different stuff. So you kind of keep, because CU has somebody up there for the Heisman, I feel like you almost keep track of those teams and those players as well. Gentry, I don't even know how to say his name. I keep saying Gentry, but it's not Gentry. It's Genty or something.
Yeah.
So it's I've been just keeping tabs on Boise State and how he's doing.
Which did you see? So going into this Saturday, Travis Hunter was the favorite, but it was a minor favorite. He was minus 110. And then after the games, he's now up to minus 500.
Really?
He's running away with the race, kind of.
Jonty had an amazing game, too.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly his stats.
He continues to amaze, but he actually bumped to 3 because Dylan Gabriel for Oregon, the quarterback, he actually was number 2, and then you have Travis Hunter.
Do you know when they vote for Heisman?
I'd have to look it up.
It's not, you don't have to look it up. It's all good. It's before bowls start, correct?
I thought it was after all of that. I thought it wasn't announced until.
Well, no, I know it's not announced until after, but I
Yeah.
think they vote. It's kind of the same thing as like the MVP in NFL.
Okay.
You vote before
Then, yeah,
the
you
playoffs,
probably
I
vote
think.
before bowl games.
Yeah.
Because
So it's
everybody says that bowl games don't matter.
That's where
they don't matter, but they don't count for your stats.
Mhm.
Like,
and so I think that's what it is. And so,
yeah,
but if CU, because I think the conference championships still count.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I think it's after those that you vote. If CU ends up getting into the top 12, if they get into it, the champion, like the playoff,
yeah.
how do you not? But
Yeah.
Boise State could get in as well.
I mean, we've talked about it with NBA MVPs. Like, do you like count like a team's record? Like, how much of a factor does that go into versus, hey, this dude can just flat out ball or
for me,
whatever.
It's funny because for me, like, I don't know. Say like Jokic,
Yeah.
okay? And I know this is going off, but say Jokic. These last 2 games we haven't had him, and the one's playing right now, but it doesn't look like the first half's going any better.
Yeah.
He is the clear-cut MVP because if you lose Jokic, and I know we don't have AG either, so that doesn't help, but if you lose Jokic, I don't know if we're a playoff team.
Yeah.
With Jokic and our same exact team, we're a championship contender.
Yeah, I agree.
So you know what I mean? It's like
I think when you're looking at Heisman, I wouldn't say that, hey, this dude is maybe over this dude just because of the record, but I mean, you look at all those Heisman contenders, and it kind of goes hand in hand.
they're on your
those teams are playing really well.
Mhm.
It's like, and it's partly due to those players, but
Yeah.
I mean, you watch CU games, and everybody kind of gets like a touch of the ball. Like,
yeah. And he plays offense and defense.
Yeah.
Man. It's just crazy.
it's just amazing, like what he can do on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. But with the playoff, so we've been arguing this, and we're on the same side, I believe, on this. Because last week, guys, if you listened, me and Kyle, we were not gelling. And it's funny because, especially with the Elam ending,
Yeah.
throughout the week, we were still arguing after the pod,
Yeah.
man. After the pod.
I think
like,
we've agreed just to disagree.
I have agreed that Kyle is dumb.
I don't know. I don't.
Every single person we've talked to has not liked that. They liked your hockey stuff. Like a lot more people were on your side on the hockey. No, not one person really was on your side.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's hard being a genius sometimes.
Kyle is whack, guys.
But,
We've been arguing about every single thing lately. I don't know what it is.
But yeah,
so we're on the same side as this, though.
Yep.
There's 12 teams that get in. The top 4, and so this is where it's a little confusing. The top 5 highest ranked conference champions get in, no matter what. And so it's not necessarily like the SEC is not necessarily getting in. However, they will get somebody in. So pretty much it's looking like it'll be the Big Ten, the SEC, and the Big 12. Their champion will get in. Those 3.
Yeah. And not only get in, they're going to be...
Those 3 will have a bye, is my guess.
Yeah.
Yep. The ACC and the Mountain West will probably be the other 2.
Yeah.
Which currently, if you just play off the first, if you play who's in first right now, that would be Boise State and SMU. One of them would get a bye. If it's how it is right now, it'd be Oregon, Texas, BYU, SMU, Boise State. You're telling me Boise State, this is where we are, I'm frustrated because it doesn't, I think that they should get a bid.
Yeah.
It should not be buys because, and even if they still do a bye, it shouldn't be just because you won your championship. It should be the top 4 teams because it's like you're telling me say SMU gets in. They're a top 4 team. They should get a bye just because they won their conference championship.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I agree with you, but it just there's no good way about it with college football. It's like their whole entire ranking system is on it comes down to the committee. it comes down.
But that's
to,
how basketball is.
I mean, it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's how all of them are.
And I mean, that's just how.
I think that's why they went to a 12 teams.
Yeah,
but to try to get it where it's like,
yeah,
all right, hey, like Army for example, if they go undefeated, they'll get in. If they lose to Notre Dame, I don't think they'll get in. But in a top 4, like years past, even if they would have beaten Notre Dame, they're not getting in.
Honestly, I could see even if Army beats Notre Dame, I could see them not getting in still.
I would be surprised because
they're in.
Well, this is the way they're doing it though, because like if an undefeated team like that gets like that, and so it's kind of how who was it? Not UCF, Florida Atlantic, I think a few years ago.
Yeah,
they ended up being like the 10th or 11th, but they were undefeated.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of like trying to get rid of this. But what Tim was saying, my father-in-law. He was saying that they should do 16 teams, no buys.
Get away with it,
get away with no buys. I kind of agree. Even if they do 12, just no buys.
Yeah.
You can do 12 with no buys.
You can. I think the reason why they didn't do 16 is because, hey, you're going from 4 to 12. That's already a big leap.
Yeah.
We don't know how it's going
to
go.
See how it is.
Because they don't want to put like very bad games. Like they don't want They don't want the number 1 seed going against the number 16 seed and it be a 55-7 game.
And it could be, and maybe that's why they did the buys.
But
that could be a reason why they did the buys as well. However, the way they're doing the buys is completely ridiculous. Because like Notre Dame, for example, if they would not have lost their that game to NIU, Northern Illinois, they would probably be the number 2 team right now in the nation. However, it does not matter if they were the number 1 team. They will not get a bye. The highest they can get is 5.
Yeah.
And I know that's why people are like, oh, well, that's why they have to go to a conference championship and stuff.
Yeah.
But
which I think that's it's a dumb
I think it's dumb
too. It's like, who cares if they're not in a conference? I honestly think the conferences suck.
I know you've said that they should just get them completely rid of them.
Yeah, I love college conferences for every other sport like basketball, volleyball, soccer, all of that stuff, softball. But for football, it honestly complicates everything so much, and it honestly sucks. You always have these at the end of the year of, okay, how come this team is above this team, but below this team? Like you always have that, and as a fan, it sucks.
Yeah.
But
I think there's a reason for it, and we've talked about this before, but I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. Like Steve takes the conference so completely over the top, man. Like, and we've told him this.
I don't I can kind of see why, because it's almost like the college views conferences as way higher than anything else.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've talked
he's dumb though, because he roots for the people in his conference.
Yeah,
so he's dumb. I don't know. He's dumb. Also, really quick, go ahead.
Also, it hurts all the teams in the SEC. Like you said, there's a 6-way tie.
I think there's a 6-way tie for first. I can't remember. Maybe it's a 5-way tie.
Yeah.
For first, but that's the thing that I actually was just about to ask. SEC is probably going to get the most teams in.
Yeah.
How many can they get in, do you think?
I think they're going to try to put as many as they want.
Yes.
They could put in 6.
I think they're going to get 5, which is crazy. And it's 12.
Be what, they're Tennessee, Texas.
They're going to get Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get all 5 of those in.
Yeah.
Depending on how the last couple weeks go, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if all 5 of those. So mine looking right now, it's probably going to be it'd be those 5. Notre Dame, Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State. And then either BYU or CU. Well, no, because that doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Because it would be BYU or CU, whoever's the top of the Big 12. And then the ACC and Mountain West, it'll be the top in that.
Indiana and Ohio State are both Big 10, right?
And Penn State and Oregon.
Yeah, I think.
Because I think all 4 of those are going to get it. Unless, if Indiana loses, I think they're out.
I agree. That's what I was about to say.
But if Ohio State, Oregon, or Penn State lose, I think they're all still in.
I don't think so. I think if Ohio State loses again, I think they're out. I think if Penn State loses again, they're out. Because then you look at a 2-loss team in any conference other than the SEC, and they're immediately out. I think.
I don't know, man.
Because I don't think a SEC team, a 2-loss team, is like, all right, but look at who they're losing to. Like Alabama, they lost to Georgia, or no, they lost to Tennessee, Vanderbilt, like that kind of, but that hurts. But then Georgia did the same thing. They lost to Alabama and then Ole Miss. It's like Ole Miss, they probably should beat 9 times out of 10.
Dude, I don't know. It's going to be
Ole
so...
Miss, like, before they beat Georgia, they weren't even in consideration.
They were. They were ranked. I mean,
Ole
they
Miss,
were...
I think, lost to some bad teams. They
were ranked. When they beat Georgia, they were ranked.
They were.
So it's not like they're like a team that...
I'm not
like
saying
Kansas, for example. I don't think Kansas is a great team. Well, now they've beat 2 ranked teams in a row, BYU and K-State. And so it's not like something like that. Like, people knew who they were. It's just
I'm not saying they were like a nobody.
Compared to the other SEC, you don't think they're you think you're like, they're not that good. Exactly. But in any other conference, they're probably one of the top. So,
and that's again why all the conferences suck.
It'll be interesting. But I think you have to have conferences. I think
you can create a system of.
There's no way, man. Like,
something else.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
But yeah.
It could be like soccer.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Like, that's the thing.
But how do you even start it, though? How do you start it? You have to rank them somehow.
Yeah, you can use the rankings from the last year or something. Like, hey, last season, because they always have preseason rankings of, hey, coming in, this is the top
that's what
25.
People think. That's like the same kind of thing. So
yeah, you still have that, but then
I don't know.
You could do it like soccer. I don't know.
I don't even want. I don't know. It's never going to happen. There's no way that they're ever going to get rid of the conferences. They make too much money. There's absolutely no way.
It's all money.
But let's move on because we'll see in a couple weeks. We'll see. Hopefully, see you Notre Dame. Those are my teams. We'll talk about that a little later. But basketball, the Emeralds Cup just started. So the City Edition jerseys all came out. And we talked about this last year. This year, it seems like overall, we're going to bring them up because I haven't really looked at them too much. I looked at them right before. But it seems like they're honestly a step back for me from last year as an overall.
I think some of the design, for sure.
That's what, because I think the design, and maybe people were being more... what's the word that I'm looking for?
Creative.
Well, that or they weren't as scared. They were just like
maybe.
I don't know what word I'm thinking of, but they were just like, hey, let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
This year it just looks a lot more plain.
There was a lot of teams that they basically took the design from last year and made one switch. Mm-hmm. Like Brooklyn's, I think, is very similar. It's like a painted
Well, it's funny because Brooklyn,
thing.
It almost got more plain because it was more colorful last year.
Exactly.
But I actually don't mind Brooklyn's just looking at it right now.
I still think it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Indies is very similar.
Very similar to last year.
Was. But the Bulls is extremely simple.
Yeah.
And
that's gold one, right?
Yeah, it's like that. And so,
there's just a few
who's your favorite after looking?
I think one of my favorite. I actually think Denver's is pretty cool.
The thing with I actually really enjoy Denver's. Mm-hmm. And you bought a jacket for it.
Yeah. Looks sweet.
I agree with you. I think Denver's is really.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't like the 5280 as much.
Yeah, and we've said that about past uniforms that Denver overplays the 5280, and it's only because outside of Denver, outside of Colorado, nobody knows what 5280 is.
Yeah. I wish it would have either said Mile High or Denver. Yeah. And on the shorts, right now it says Denver on the shorts. Mm-hmm. Maybe they flip it so it says 5280 on the shorts and Denver on here or something cool. Like that.
I have even said try to incorporate new words like elevate or
I don't think I would have liked that.
I don't know, something like that. Just I don't know. I probably wouldn't have liked it as much on the jersey itself, but it's also just kind of weird having a 5280 and then the player's number right under it.
Yeah.
Because you think, all right,
I kind of wish they would have brought the minor back a little bit.
Yeah, there was a lot of there was a lot of throwbacks in these city editions.
Like Toronto's is a big
throwback.
I think Utah's is. Utah does very well with putting the mountains in a prominent mountain.
Yeah.
The Nuggets don't do as much of a prominent mountain, which I don't like. I wish it was more prominent.
Did you see the uniform now? The side is supposed to be the mountains.
Yeah, okay. And inside the 5280 is supposed to be too. But it's just not very prominent. Yeah. And that's what we said last year as well. Utah, however, does a very prominent. Yeah. And so, I don't know, nothing like really. I like Toronto's. They have the dinosaur on there, but I think they could have done it cooler.
Yeah.
It's just black. It's literally all black, and then just the dinosaur on there.
It's almost like the NBA went to teams and be like, hey, you can only use a maximum of 1 to 3 colors or 1 to 2 colors.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Who's the land? Is that Cleveland?
That's Cleveland.
I don't mind it's hard to see on here, the sides, but
yeah.
I don't know. I just wish they did a little bit more creative, honestly. And that's what kind of like last year. But speaking of the NBA, right, and we kind of touched base on this, Jokic, he's out, his wife's having a baby or had a baby or something. He's I think he's going to miss the Tuesday game too. They're still in Memphis. Does this, scare you?
Kind of. I was watching the Pelicans game. I was like, this is probably what it's going to be like when Jokic ends up retiring. And it's like...
I mean, it's going to be different at that time because obviously, maybe for a year or two, but we'll get top draft picks probably. But for me, I'm saying, does it scare you right now? Because say Jokic is out 3 weeks. Say we have 10 games in 3 weeks. And there's probably a lot more than that. But say he's out 20 games. What do you think our record is?
I'd say we're lucky if we win 8 or 6.
That's more than
6 to 8 of those.
That's what I'm thinking, 5, 6.
Yeah.
The way obviously you'd change it up a little bit and you'd know that he's going to be out.
I think a big thing with the Pelicans game too is also Mike Malone was not there. He was at his daughter's
and maybe that
volleyball, and I'm not
it hurts.
It just seemed like they were right when they were about to take the lead, they would miss a basket, and then Pelicans would hit a ridiculous 3 or something.
Yeah.
Because I watched that game, and Brandon Ingram, he made some ridiculous shots. Peyton Watson was getting really frustrated defending him which I don't blame him. I don't know how much you can do else.
And AG's out too, so that's a huge thing too. So but right now, I didn't get to watch the Pelicans game. Not watching this one. Right now, there's 2 minutes and 46 seconds. 2 minutes 40 seconds left in the third. We're down 78-56 right now.
Yeah.
In Memphis.
I mean, you don't even have to see a game where Jokic doesn't play, because you can see it in a game that he does play. Whenever he comes off the bench, it's just what are you doing? What is going on?
Well, and a lot of the time though, it's a lot of the other starters off too. So it's maybe that's for you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's gonna, because he's the MVP. He's having another historic season. It's insane what he's doing right now. But he's playing a lot more minutes than he should be probably. Yeah. But it's you thought, for me at least, it is going to be a pretty big drop down, but I obviously didn't see it. I see some highlights, some stuff, but just looking at the stuff I look at all the time, it's just man, this is not good.
Basically, because without Jokic, you can't really run a 2-man game, because they tried it versus the Pelicans, but the Pelicans were not honoring the roll man whatsoever.
Yeah, because who are you going to have roll?
It was going to be Saric or whatever.
And he's not going to.
Yeah.
He's not as. DeAndre Jordan 10 years ago.
Yeah. So every single time Jamal would call a screen like that, it would end immediately just turn into a double team.
That was a Pelicans game you were saying?
So I'm sure it's the same as that.
And Jamal's not playing great either. He's had some games and stuff, but he's not playing like Jamal from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We need to get that Jamal back.
I've seen some anonymous things from players that Jamal Murray has became very easy to guard because he hasn't really switched up moves or anything like that, maybe. No. So
I noticed this morning when I was playing basketball, and I feel like I've thought this before, but man, there's this one thing I do. I always go left. I'm like,
Yeah.
these guys, they should just know. Like, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I was guarding myself, I'd be like, give him the right, which is hilarious because I'm right-handed.
Yeah.
But every single time on this move, and I do it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I would say 80 to 90% of the time I go left.
Every time me and you play, you always, I can't go left.
Yeah,
so you just take away.
Just take it, man.
Yeah. Yep. And then I literally can't. So.
Yeah, and maybe that's why I go left because I am right-handed. So I'm
like,
all right, people are going to give me the left, so maybe that's why.
But just imagine, like, NBA teams, their scouting reports are.
Oh, they know every single thing.
More.
Yeah,
so.
They know all this.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised. And like we kind of hinted, Denver is struggling without Jokic, but a big reason of that is because, hey, this was very sudden.
Exactly.
Jokic is going to be out,
yep.
and you can't throw together an offense in a day.
Especially with Malone not there as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how the practices went this week.
Yeah.
If Jokic was there or because he was questionable until the day of pretty much on both days.
Yep.
And so, which I thought it was weird today because there's no way I don't think he's in Memphis. If he's in Memphis, he's playing today.
Yeah.
And so that's where
and it's even
I was a little surprised.
We talked more. They had 4 days off. They played on Sunday, didn't play again till Friday.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine if
maybe
Jokic was practicing, there's no way you're practicing with him, expecting that he's going to be there.
Yeah, you're going to be at home too for most of those days.
Yeah.
They probably didn't go to New Orleans until Thursday, honestly.
Probably. Yeah.
So I don't know,
but
let's move on. We're going to talk food.
Yeah.
This is our food. We've been arguing this a lot too, guys.
So
Kyle has a dumb thing. It's his theory. It's Kyle's theory.
Theory.
Kyle wrote a theory, posted it online
under
this weird name.
It's not.
But just give the gist of it because it's a lot of stuff. But give the gist of it.
It's not me. Okay. It stems from the argument of, is hot dog a sandwich? And then because of that, people have said that no, a hot dog's not a sandwich. And then so this person, he created what's called the cube rule.
And this came up because people were talking to us about our hot dogs last week. So that's why this is.
So then now people is like, all right, well, screw a hot dog. What is a Pop-Tart? Where's a Pop-Tart fit in? And then so the internet started arguing about that. So basically the creator of the cube rule, he said there's 6 categories of food and then 2 bonus ones. The first one. And also
a salad goes into everything pretty much, he said.
Basically.
Which drives me crazy. Which salad is a category, but it goes into 4 other categories.
Yes. So basically the category, it's how to identify foods based on where the starch is located. So number 1 is toast. Starch is on the bottom. So for example, pizza. Pizza is toast.
Yeah.
Number 2, a sandwich. Starch is on the bottom and top. So sandwiches are a burger, any cheeseburger. I think pie.
You don't have to look at
pie was on there.
I was because we could talk about this for 20 minutes.
Number 3 was a taco, bottom.
Which a hot dog was in the taco.
Taco.
The 4th was sushi.
Sushi. Mm-hmm. So pigs in blankets, because it's a circle encompassing, but the sides are kind of out. Enchiladas or sushi.
5th was a salad bowl, right?
5th was a quiche.
Or quiche.
So quiche is everything but the top.
Mm-hmm.
So a soup in a bread bowl is a quiche.
And then the last one.
And then the last one is a calzone. Other also people call it ravioli. Is everything is encompassed. So one thing, a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Pop-Tart is ravioli.
And then the bonus was a salad, which was
just no starch.
Yeah, no starch at all.
Steak is considered in the salad category. And then I just love your reaction to all of these. But
I just want to say so much stuff. And I'm putting it all on Kyle. I know it wasn't him, but I'm arguing with him that I'm saying it was his idea.
The final bonus one is cake. It's just anything with layers. So lasagna, specifically a Big Mac.
Yeah,
because they have a piece of bread in the middle. But it's just it's hilarious looking at all of these things.
It
And
made me
just,
so
like-
mad. I
think honestly, I think the creator of this wanted that. Like it's almost like, hey, I'm gonna take this argument that people are already having, and I'm gonna create this thing to make people argue even more. And
we've argued about this a lot.
but it is funny, like looking at salads, because yeah, you can like if it's or there's another bonus category, nachos.
No, that's right. Yeah, because
so
they said a
if-
salad could be a nacho.
If you have only if you have croutons.
Croutons, yeah. It's like, I don't know. For me, the way I look at it, I don't think a hot dog, like for example, is a sandwich. I think a hot dog is a hot dog. I think each of these are different because, like they were saying, like a quesadilla. I can't remember what it was.
A quesadilla
was a taco, right?
Taco.
But I'm like, a quesadilla is just a quesadilla. I think each thing has its own thing.
yeah.
Like a sandwich is a sandwich. Like
But what makes the sandwich?
But when you like, it's the same thing as like a pizza is not toast. A pizza is a pizza.
Yeah.
It's like its own thing.
I'm agreeing.
No,
with
you're
you.
not, Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Like, cereal is the own thing. Like, you know what cereal is. Like,
I think cereal is actually considered nachos.
yeah, which is, well, it's only certain cereals.
Oh
so.
yeah, it's only Lucky Charms.
Yeah, it's like stupid. It's you can tell I'm boiling, but like
And that's
for me,
what I think makes it even better. Because I'm over here just laughing at the whole idea.
Yeah.
You're just like,
I'm just like, I'm like, I feel it in my shoulders. I'm like tense, man.
dude, chill.
I'm just like, this guy.
Relax.
Like, what's a chicken wing? You know?
I think a chicken wing is a calzone.
I think for me, it's like, no, dude, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. Let us know what you think, and maybe I'm just being ridiculous.
I just think it makes it even funnier that you're so
dude,
like.
Megan's the
riled
same
up
thing too.
about
She
it.
gets all riled, and like we feed off each other. And we've talked about this probably at least 5 or 6 times this like week or so, text and in person.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, I'm over it. I'm good. And then we start talking about it again, and I'm just like,
I just don't understand. How you get so like,
dude, I
upset.
take my food serious, man. And this is somebody messing with food, and it's not cool. It is not cool. So,
But yeah,
but I
I'd
don't
love
know.
to hear your feedback on it if you've heard of it.
You know,
And then,
even the like food stuff. Hopefully, you guys like this.
I think it's
like-
hilarious seeing some of the foods. It's like that's like considered that like
Next week we'll probably talk a little bit more Thanksgiving foods and stuff. But let us know what food stuff you want us to talk about, because obviously you can tell I almost get in more into food than the sports that we're talking about. Even though this is, we talk about sports, dingers with the boys, but it's like, man, I take my food serious, man. I'm seriously like tensed up in my shoulders right now. Like I can feel it, dude.
tell.
I'm like,
chill, dude.
breathe,
Chill.
dude. I know, dude. Even when like your stupid Elam thing, I wasn't getting this much
I know
into it.
you're
and it's
freaking
like,
out. It's hilarious.
dude. My like blood, like I want to see like what my oh my gosh,
The phone's
like,
about to say like, settle down.
I know. I like have to have one of those things like extremely stressed or something. I just want to see what my heart rate is.
That reminds me of
My heart rate. I'm usually in the like low 60s. I'm at 75 right now, which is high for me. Like just talking, sitting.
That's hilarious.
Okay, let's move on to game picks.
Yeah.
Not a great week for us.
I had a horrible
You went
week.
0-3. I went 1-2.
Yeah.
And you should have probably went up 1-2.
Yeah.
It was Dallas versus the
Golden State.
Golden State, and
Yep.
Dallas had the.
They were up by
they were
7
up.
with I think 4 minutes left.
I thought it was less than that.
Maybe. I don't remember.
They were up with
but,
like a minute and a half
yeah.
left. I
Same
don't
with
remember
Duke.
how much.
Like
but-
Duke versus
Duke.
Kentucky. Duke was up.
And it was Cooper Flag that had bad turnovers,
Yeah.
which we said that's why they were going to win because
Yeah.
of Cooper
Well,
Flag.
I mean, he
And so-
still had a great game. I think he had 34. Or,
But honestly,
something like
at the
that.
end, he was probably the reason why they lost.
which-
but you're going to lose some, win some.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee, Georgia. Tennessee was looking really good,
Yeah.
and then kind
I
of
bet they
slid
could pull
down.
it off.
So they ended up losing.
we did say that Georgia, they could not lose that game.
Exactly.
Absolutely
Yep.
not.
Mhm.
If they did, they were out
They're
of playoffs.
out. Yep.
Like all of that. So
So does that? Am I up 3 now?
yeah.
Because I've
think
won. I've gained 2 in the last 2, right? Okay.
Yep.
So I'm up 3.
Yeah, our records will be above our heads. I usually edit it in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm kicking Kyle's butt.
You're doing good.
Who knows, man? You can go on a streak and stuff. So
I hope so.
We'll definitely have. You said that we shouldn't, like, it doesn't matter. I like to have one different. No matter what, I know we're going to have one different off of the games we're picking.
Yeah, it depends.
Very first game this week, Ohio State and Indiana. Mm-hmm. This is massive. Yeah. I mean, this is top of the Big Ten right here. This really cements Indiana as, hey, we're for real. I know they're undefeated, but beating Ohio State would be massive. Do you remember where it's at?
I think it's at Indiana.
Is that Indiana? Do you want to go first or you want me to? I know who I'm picking.
You go first.
Okay. Do you not know for sure yet?
No. I'm on the fence.
I'm kind of where I don't think Indiana is as good as their record shows. They're a good team. First-year head coach, which is insane. Mm-hmm. So nobody thought, I don't think even including Indiana, thought they were going to be at this spot right now. I think Ohio State, I do not like Ohio State. I think they have too much firepower, even if it's at Indiana. I think Ohio State's going to beat them.
I don't know. I'm on the fence because I don't think Ohio State is really I don't think they're that good either. It's like they're in a weaker conference, and I don't know who they've really played. They got
the number 1 team in the nation in their conference.
Yeah, but they lost to them.
Close. That was a close game.
It was a close game, but I mean, they still lost. Yeah, and then I can't think of any other game that Ohio State's played that has really been that tough.
Did they play Penn State?
Yeah, they played Penn State, but they always
barely beat them though, right? I think that wasn't a close game.
It was close on the scoreboard, but it was like Penn State had to keep on
catching up kind of thing.
They need a touchdown still, and then all right, we got to go for it on 4th down. Don't get it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Who are you picking?
I don't know. I think I have to go Ohio State.
Go Indiana, man. Try to catch up, dude.
Let me see. If Indiana's home, I'll go Indiana. Because
double checking.
Yeah.
All right. Our next one, while he's checking that, is the NBA. It is the Celtics versus Cleveland. Where's this one? You remember?
Boston.
This is in Boston. Cleveland is undefeated right now.
Yep.
I think do they play on Tuesday?
Yeah.
So this will be their next games, I believe, for both of them.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's home?
It's Ohio State.
Ohio State's at home?
I think I got to go Ohio State.
Okay. So we both went Ohio State.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Boston. You said this is in Boston?
Yeah.
You want me to go again?
Sure.
I'll go Boston. I'd love to see Cleveland keep going undefeated just because it's kind of like a fun story. I thought they were going to be a good team, but I thought they were kind of be like around that 4 or 5 in the East. But the way they're looking, they might be 1-2 in the East.
Yeah.
I think Boston's really hard at home, too. I think they play great at home. They play great anywhere. But Jason Tatum, I don't think they're going to have somebody really for him and Jaylen Brown. And Derek White is playing amazing right now. And so this is crazy, too, because Boston still is without Kristaps Porzingis. Probably about another month or so, maybe a little less.
Yeah, so they're just going to get better.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Boston.
I'm going Boston as well. I think Cleveland, they have been very good, and I do think it could be a problem down in the paint, just because you don't have Porzingis, you have Horford that he can be good, and they'll probably bring Tillman in as well, but I think they'll do pretty good against Garland. He's been a big reason why Cleveland's been pretty good.
Donovan Mitchell's playing really good too.
Mitchell, he's probably still going to be a good game, but
I think Boston their defense is better too.
Yeah.
Overall, I think they're going to be able to shut down more people on Cleveland than Cleveland will be able to shut down.
I actually think their defense kind of cancels each other out, but Boston, I think they're the better shooters. And Boston lives and dies by the 3, so as long as the 3 is hitting, I don't see Cleveland
so we're both on the same.
Handling them, but
and the big one, man.
Yeah.
The big one. We've been talking about this for a while. Notre Dame and Army Shamrock Series. We should have went. I wanted to go. Going to Disney instead and some stuff, but at Yankee Stadium this Saturday. should be two undefeated teams right now. Still mad that Notre Dame lost, but Army's undefeated. Notre Dame's undefeated right now. Notre Dame in the AP poll is 6, and Army I think is 16. No, CU was 16. 17.
I think they went down to 18.
Okay,
18.
But it's right there. Army's undefeated.
I'm going Army.
Dude, I know.
Yeah, I got to.
Yep. Kyle's going Army.
I actually think it will be a really good game too. Army's coming off a bye, so they're gonna have one more week of watching tape and doing it. And both teams are run heavy teams. Like, hey, you almost know what's coming. Army definitely runs a lot more than Notre Dame.
I was gonna say, I think Riley Leonard's a dual threat. He can run or throw.
Yeah, Notre Dame is definitely more of a pass threat. He's definitely passing it a lot more, I would say, in the last few weeks. But, I mean, the Army, like, they're going to run it 30-plus times a game.
So you think it's going to be a close game?
I think it will.
Like, within how many points? You don't have to say score, but within how many?
Within 4.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Okay, I'm going Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a double-digit win by Notre Dame. I actually don't think it's going to be as close of a game.
Yeah.
And because I think Army's more predictable than Notre Dame, it helps Army that Notre Dame has ended up missing a couple of their guys for the season on defense.
Yeah.
And their top, like Benjamin Morrison, like that is a huge blow, But the way Xavier Watts is playing right now, it's like, oh my gosh, he's playing great. And so, I think they're more predictable. I think it'll be fun. I think it might be close at first. But by the end of the game, I think it'll be a double digit. And maybe it'll be like 10-14, like just a 2-score game. But I don't think it's going to come down to like that last possession or anything like that.
I think it could. I think Army's defense is a lot better than people give them credit for.
They just
they haven't really played that many good teams.
Well, that's it. And they also they haven't played as big of games.
Yeah.
So they're not like, I think some of their players could get like a little, not nervous, but like excited.
The Army, man, they're built different. That's,
but you know what I mean? Like, I think they could get like a little excited. Like, they can almost pump themselves up too much kind of thing,
I don't know. I think it helps.
I don't know. It'll be interesting, but
I'm excited for the game.
I hope Notre Dame wins. I know you hope Army wins.
Yeah.
And Kyle didn't want to pick this game, and I told him it's because he knows Notre Dame's going to win.
No, the only reason why I didn't want to pick it is just because you already know, like, going into it. If you know me and Tim, it's like, there's no way I'm going to pick Notre Dame.
It's funny because
there's no way you're going to pick Army.
Against any other team, you'd pick Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much, Yep. And so that's why I don't want CU and Notre Dame to play, because that would be hard for me.
Yeah.
I would probably go Notre Dame, but
I think I'd go CU.
It's tough because I've been both fans for my whole life, but I don't know. That's such a hard one because we really, in our lifetimes, have not seen either of them win a championship. Yeah. Notre Dame's came.
I think that's why I wouldn't want them to play each other because I want the maximum chance.
But I also want them both to keep winning.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like I want them. It'd be crazy if that's the national championship.
That's what I would.
See you Notre Dame, dude, that would be insane.
Yeah.
I would have so much fun. I don't think I would be mad at any play.
No, I wouldn't either.
Oh my god! It's like I'd be happy either way. And
Agreed.
But that's all we got.
Yep.
Fun week. We didn't argue as much this time. We were saying
got more mad.
Dude, I'm still tense about this.
Take a chill
stupid
pill.
food. I know, man. What category is a pill in?
A what?
A pill. A chill pill. What category is that dumb thing?
Calzone.
I don't know, man. It's still kidding me. But let us know what you want us to talk about, man. We have so much fun. We'll talk about anything, you know. And so if you have something you want us to talk about, do it. If anybody we have a couple type people that I know have wanted to do guests. We might bring a couple people back as well. But if anybody else wants to be guests too, definitely let us know. I mean, we have fun doing guests. It's definitely just a different thing for us. But having a blast, man. So have a great week, everybody.
Yeah. Like Tim said, and go all the teams that you want. Go Army.
But Well, that's all we got, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we will see you next week. And see you later, alligators. Peace.